Welcome everyone. So for today I'm going to have for you guys another matchup taken from the Korean ladder. It's going to be one more Korean pros matchup with two Zerg players. It's going to be a ZVZ mirror matchup, and oh, on the chat I already see a lot of crying going there. So well, if anyone knows Korean, please feel free to translate. I would appreciate that. I'm curious to see what they're on about, but with all that crying going there by NosLoki, I can imagine what he's saying to NesTea. So presenting the players, we're going to have spawning here on this bottom left position of the Zalnaga Caverns, this blue Zerg going by the name of NosLoki. He's not one of the most well-known players from the Korean side of the community, but this guy is Grand Masters in Korea, and last time I checked he was on the top 50, so solid Zerg player right here. I already seen him playing in the past against OGST, STC, Liquid Huck and other big names, so he is a big caliber Zerg player, amongst the finest playing this game, but still didn't have much visibility on the competitive scene. Maybe one day we're gonna see him trying his luck on the GSL or something like that. And he's going to be facing against this red Zerg spawning on this top right position and going by the name of IMNestea. What can I say about NesTea? 3 times GSL champion, unbeatable for ages on ZVZ, by the way. I remember that it was Demaga that was able to break that record and take a best of 3 out of him, winning 2-1. So he's one of the finest players in the whole world. If you don't know NesTea, well, you haven't been paying much attention to what's going on the Starcraft 2 universe. So I'm hoping for a good match to come out of these two guys. Let's take a look at which way they're heading, though it's still quite early, and well, ZVZs usually start with the same style on both sides. But we're gonna have here on this side, on NesTea side, that spawning pool going down, and meanwhile on NosLoki, spawning pool as well, with very similar timings. As you can see, NesTea is just a little bit ahead. They're both just building up their openings. There's the extractor already stacking up some gas on both sides, so this is gonna start fairly standard, with that gas being used for the Zergling speed and getting some Zergling wars going on early on the game. Now notice these details, both players already placing their overlords, spreading them as much as possible throughout the entire map so they get visibility, and notice everything going on their opponent's bases, and especially when they get out of their bases, which movements are they taking heading to their opponent's base so they can just counter them and have enough time to react. Zergling speed kicking in on both sides, both players actually going quite similar. Now there's a small difference here. While NosLoki decided to go for the 4 Zerglings, I think that on ST side it's only 2 Zerglings, so saving a little bit there on the larva for NesTea, trying to squeeze in a little bit more of economy, I guess. And meanwhile NosLoki will be able to arrive with his 4 Zerglings on that natural expo, because both players are expanding at the same time as well, again with NesTea being a little bit ahead from what I can see here. So we're gonna have some sort of trade-off. The Zerglings arriving here on the natural expo from NesTea and gonna begin poking at this hatchery. It's gonna take them quite a long time, while the 2 Zerglings from NesTea get here into the main base. Oh, nice interception there with Loki catching one of those Zerglings and the sole survivor running away before it's too late. Both players going for quite similar builds. There's a couple of differences obviously, especially on that Zergling count. Though NesTea now was forced to get a couple more Zerglings out, and they're both getting their Zergling wars ready to roll. 6 Zerglings against 7 now. Queen already out, waiting for that hatchery to pop out and start spawning that larva to just increase the production capabilities of NesTea's bases. Meanwhile, oh, we're gonna have more, and they already have speed. There it is, we're gonna have the Zerglings war ensuing. One thing I would like to mention is that I'm gonna try to avoid going for a lot of HP bars on this matchup, because, well, I can imagine a million Zerglings running around and it's gonna be like a sea of HP bars. Doesn't make much sense. It might not be the best idea. Meanwhile, on NosLoki's side, well, guess he's not gonna invest that much on Zerglings, going for that Roach Warren, while NesTea is still keeping it on the Zergling production, so no roaches for him, and the moment he's gonna have some roaches out, he will be able to thwart this aggression with his Zerglings. Here he comes, the Zerglings battles will be ensuing right in front of the natural exo from Loki, with 2 queens hanging on here, helping out the Zergling forces, and seems like that NesTea is messing up a big clump of Zerglings. Let's take a look again, 23 against 33. This is a lot of Zerglings that is messing up here. And here they go, all the Zerglings going down south, while we do have the roaches coming out for NosLoki. They're gonna be a big help, a big advantage here on this battle. And there it is, the first confrontation ensuing here. on this point that connects the Natural Expo and the main base from NosLoki, with NesTea pulling back once more, waiting for his reinforcements. There's a lot of Zerglings streaming down once more, and now with the roaches there, I don't think that NesTea will be very successful on this approach. Oh, nice surround there, beautiful surround on those roaches. Seems like he's going to be able to chew away the roaches, but still there's plenty of Zerglings from NosLoki defending this. Meanwhile, we do have NesTea answering back with his own Roach Warren. On his Natural Expo, anything going on? No, everything quiet and calm. So we're gonna go from Zergling Wars into Roach Wars apparently, with NosLoki being a little bit ahead, I would like to say. At least he had his Roach Warren a little bit sooner than NesTea, and seems like we're gonna have some flanking maneuvers going on here. There it is, some Zerglings getting intercepted and fighting their way now here in the Natural Expo. Guess they're just gonna run away while the Roach are still advancing all the way up north, but this gave enough time for NesTea to get his own roaches. I'm at least hoping for it. Yeah, the first batch of roaches is coming out, and there it is, NosLoki forces showing up here, getting a huge surround with the Queens backing it up, but then the Zerglings came to help out defending the forces that Loki is sending up north here to the Natural Expo from NesTea, melting away 2 Queens. This was massive damage done there to NesTea's economy, forced to pull several drones out of the mineral line with his roaches helping out, and seems like he's going to be able to defend this, but it's going to be a really close call. NesTea just pumping out more and more roaches out of those larvae, and finally I think he has enough to thwart this aggression. His roaches being microed properly contained the aggression here, and NosLoki apparently will have to head back home, run away and try another day, because the roaches from NesTea just popped out in the right moment. Clutch time roaches right there that were able to defend against the roaches from NosLoki. Inside NosLoki's base, nothing else going on for now. No signs of even going for the lair tech. They're just keeping it very low tech and just investing on the quantity, getting as many of those Zerglings and roaches as possible. Again, I think you're gonna have some sort of trade-off. I see a red stream coming down and a blue stream coming up, and here it comes, plenty of Zerglings advancing here again onto this Natural Expo. Yes, I guess they're gonna try to intercept some of those workers. Oh, they're gonna catch the Queen. Nice kill there. Nice kill on that Queen, and forcing Loki to head down with his Zerglings again to help out. No trade-off happened. Actually, NesTea was the only one to profit there on this confrontation. And again, he's gonna go to this Natural Expo, to the mineral line, try to rack up some kills on that worker line, hit his opponent's economy. Let's take a look. At the moment, harvester count really similar, 28-29, with the economy being quite similar as well. On the losses, workers kills 9-3. The units, we do have a lot there, 86 against 63. So there is already a difference, and apparently NosLoki now is gonna get some upgrades rolling. He's trying to just get some improvements onto his basic units, so he can just tip the scale on his favor when he faces NesTeas and Zerglings and roaches. And seems like they're just gonna be meeting here in the middle of the map. Yeah, there it is again, Zerglings versus Zerglings, trying to fight for the control of that Salnaga watchtower, and the pursuit ensues with the Zerglings from NesTea. He doesn't have enough here. He's gonna need to run all the way back home and try to protect these units with the remaining roaches that he still got there. Notice that both players are following the same kind of train thought, or as you can see, they're both going for that missile attack level 1, going really low on the tech, roaches and Zerglings for most of the time. And now finally seems like we're going to have some sort of flanking maneuver, but with this Overlord here noticing everything, so NesTea will be right on time to react here and to defend. But oh, they're going to be able to reach the mineral line. Just racked up a kill there, not much. Plenty of roaches here by NesTea. Let's take a look and compare the armies. 13 roaches against 11, 5 Zerglings, 4 Zerglings. There's not much of a Zergling count at the moment. The Queen's 3-2, so quite identical here, with more of those Zerglings arriving here and trying to enter the main base from NesTea. And yes, taking all the information here, obviously spotting that the lair tech is ongoing, and also we do have that second gas landing, so I would say that NosLoki might be preparing himself to transition into the next layer of tech and add up something to his unit composition. Something that is getting quite popular lately is the Infestors, obviously. I mean, they're awesome. So maybe we're going to see these players going for some infestor play. On NesTea's side, that's not going to happen anytime soon because, well, he's not even starting his lair tech. He's just keeping it very low tech, investing on the quantity of units that he has got. But on NosLoki's side, seems like he wants something else. Maybe some infestors might be a solution. For now, he's gathering up a lot of static defenses here, while we witness a big red blob coming down south. A lot of roaches advancing, all of those overlords from NosLoki spotting everything going on here, of course. But still, oh, a single queen here. Poor queen is gonna get chewed away so quickly. But here he comes, the bulk of the forces from NesTea advancing here to the natural expo from NosLoki. NosLoki has been stabilizing some static defenses here. There's a fourth spine crawler not finished yet, and here we go, the battle ensues. The roaches focusing the fire, transfusions going on with the queen. Very well played here by NosLoki, and those static defenses probably might tip this battle on his favor. And there it is, NesTea forced to run away, escape back home, and try to remuster his forces to gather up a bigger army to make a push once more. There's upgrades rolling here for NosLoki, glial reconstitution, the speed on his roaches. What else does he got? Let's take a look. Upgrades 1-0 on his roaches, that's basically it. And now he's gonna get the glial reconstitution, so roaches with speed will be really beneficial, especially if NesTea keeps going this low tech. He doesn't have much of the upgrades going on. Ah, there it is, glial reconstitution and an infestation pit going down for NesTea, so we're gonna have some infestors coming out. I was wondering if it would be NosLoki taking care of that, but no, it's gonna be NesTea. And NesTea just heading back home with his forces, while NosLoki, is this all his army? Oh no, it's overlords. There it is, his army, plenty of roaches. Let's take a look at the count again. On the supplies, you can see NosLoki is a little bit ahead, 111 against 98. Both players apparently gonna try clearing the path here so they can land a base, a hatchery on the rich mineral fields. Both of them are reacting on the exact same manner. These two roaches will be able to finish off that Zergling quite quickly. The Zergling seems like he's gonna attempt to come down here. Oh, melted away. And meanwhile here on ST side, well, he has been stacking on his roach count, 36 against 20. NosLoki is leading on the army count, as you can see. 15 overlords there, 7 Zerglings, 2 queens against 2 queens. Apparently NosLoki is getting a little bit of an edge. It shows on the supply, but NesTea might be changing that, because if he gets some infestors out and already working on the pathogen glands, well, that might help him on future battles. Meanwhile, on NosLoki's side, I think I saw... Whoa, big roach force. Yes, he already has burrow, so this is going to be an advantage when he faces his opponent's roaches, forcing NesTea there to cancel his hatchery on the rich mineral field. He hasn't landed his third base as well, and here we go, another big face-off with NesTea forces trying to defend those static defenses, the spine crawlers helping out, bashing away the roach force. But boy, this is a huge number of roaches, and it doesn't seem like NesTea will have enough to hold the aggression here. Those 2 spine crawlers are helping out so much, they're fundamental to hold on against this aggression. And now finally the infestors coming out, and instant, look at this beautiful play there. Instant fungal growth the moment they popped out of those cocoons, and providing the defense that NesTea was needing. Nice, another fungal, grinding down the roaches from NosLoki and forcing NosLoki to head back home with no success. Very well defended again. Clutch infestors here, popping out on the right moment when they were needed. So this is getting to be a battle that is like inch by inch, and on the second, like second by second, there's something else happening. And if those units didn't pop out on that right moment for NesTea, you wouldn't be able to defend. Again, seems like that NosLoki is completely restless. Let's take a look here on NesTea's side. 2-0 on his roaches against 2-0 roaches, but these ones have burrow and the ones from NesTea do not have burrow. So this is going to be the main difference, and probably will tip the battle in favor of NosLoki. NosLoki just breaking into the natural expo from NesTea. NesTea forced to pull all of his workers out of the mineral line, trying to defend, trying to buy more time to get more roaches out, and now this burrow will be very important. Look at all the roaches just regenerating there underground, and the roaches from NesTea have nothing like that. So this is going to be something, maybe a key upgrade for NosLoki to dominate and take the final victory on this battle. Here he goes again, relentless, restless on his assaults to NesTea. Fungal growth going down. The roaches from NesTea are trying to defend, but this is getting really complicated. There's a very heavy unit composition, a very heavy roach army from NosLoki that is knocking on the door that gives access to the natural expo from NesTea for so long now. Is already poking at NesTea's base for at least 5 or 6 minutes. Let's take a look again on the unit count. 28 against 17 roaches, also 2 queens there, and then we have the infestors that should be the deciding unit for this battle. Not sure if it's going to be favorable to NesTea or not. What I do know is that this infestors might bring something new to the table, and here we go again. NosLoki advancing with all of his roaches, facing a long line of roaches from NesTea. They're trying to defend this the best way they can, but more roaches showing up here from the bottom side. NosLoki trying to get a flank position and making a very long line of roaches that is just melting away, spitting that acidic saliva on all of NesTea's units. There's not much left of the forces from NesTea. NesTea will be able to hold this once more? I think it's the 3rd time that he's going to be able to hold against NosLoki's forces, and yes, there it is. NesTea seems like he's going to hold once more, and NosLoki running back again, regenerating and replenishing his forces, sending more and more reinforcements, while apparently on NesTea's side these forces are just slowly dwindling down. Notice the difference on the supply count. Basically, NosLoki has been all this time chipping away to the units from his opponent, from NesTea, and we got to the point where NesTea doesn't have much of an army anymore. Roaches all day long, 24/7, heading up here with that burrow, regenerating and renewing his roach force. Look at him once more. This is so annoying, so frustrating. NesTea should have gone for this upgrade as well. At least you would have more even battles. Like this is forced to produce more, but well, I'm not sure if it's gonna be enough, because NosLoki hasn't gave up on attacking for like what, 10 minutes now, maybe more, and there it is. NesTea just decided to GG out of the match. Was way too much for him, and well, he didn't have much of a force anymore. As you can see, that infestor play wasn't enough. It helped grinding down some of those roaches, but not even close to the required. Mineral line here on the main base from NesTea, totally weared out, just a couple of minerals there. He was playing out of one base for so long. He did attempt to get this 3rd, but was denied even before it got finished. And on NosLoki's side, well, his mineral line here was the same thing as well. His natural X was getting close to exhausted, but still had some minerals going on. And NosLoki was just dedicated to crush NesTea on these pushes. That's why he was just committing most of his resources to getting this big roach pushes going on and on and on. And he made something like what, 4 or 5 assaults on NesTea. He was just relentless. So impressive play. Also impressive to see NesTea getting defeated on the ladder on a ZVZ, because I know he's a beast playing ZVZ, and this was a really close matchup. Was pretty impressive to see the aggression from NosLoki. He was just completely relentless. He never gave up, to the point where NesTea didn't have anything else. Let's take a look here at the units. 43 workers killed against 4, 183 against 250. Some major differences going on there, and well, it resulted on NosLoki taking the win. So I hope this might serve for you guys as a presentation of this player, because we might be hearing more of him in the future. Hope you guys enjoyed this CVZ. See you all later. Have fun.